Hey everybody, it's Pax. Welcome back to another episode of the Path to Carcosa campaign play-along. We're on Scenario 7, Black Stars Rise. We're taking a quick look at the campaign setup here. We did interview Ashley. We did not interview Ashley, and so we don't get this ability here. For our deck upgrades on Ursula, we're dropping a Ciliano Fragments and a Calling in Favors for a Seeking Answers and a Old Book of Lore level 3. Hoping that Old Book will help me kind of make sure that we're getting all the cards we need out of both of our decks and getting a little bit of economy for it. I wanted to make sure if I dropped a tome, I still had a tome. And frankly, Seeking Answers is really busted in the final scenario, so I want to have that in the deck. And I had 2 XP left over, so that's the choice. For Leo, we're just picking up 2 overpowered level 2s, and we're dropping 1 Guts for Galvanize. I figure against the final Haster that we're going to be dealing with in this campaign, I'd love to have an extra action to shoot him with a shotgun. So, pretty easy one there. And before we get going, let's get those guys out onto the stick to the plan. So as always, most of the setup's done in Tabletop Simulator automatically. We're adding a -5 to the standard Chaos bag. Right down here. And while we're down here, let's take a look at what the tokens are. The skull's -X, the highest amount of doom on an agenda in play. And the tablets are reveal another token. If you fail, place a doom on each agenda. And then beyond that, you have this whole thing here where you've got the 2 agendas and you've got a bunch of randomly assigned locations. Fortunately for us in Tabletop Simulator, it just gives you a bag that you can take a choice out of, and I've done that already. Same thing with this. A couple locations we're going to be setting up right now, where we have to randomly choose one of these to remove from the game for each of these locations. And then we do the same thing with this Choir Gothique location as well. Next thing, we begin play at the Porte de l'Avancée. And we'll be shuffling in these weaknesses to our decks, but first let's just go do our opening hands before we bother shuffling in the weaknesses. So over on Ursula, we're looking at 2 Fieldworks, Lab Assistant, Shortcut, and Jake Williams. That's not a bad opening hand. Ooh, wow, let's take a think about what we want to do with that. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to drop the Lab Assistant. Jake's going to give us a decent amount of draw right off the bat. Jake and Fieldwork, we're even going to get rid of one of the Fieldwork. I know it seems like a heresy to get rid of a Fieldwork off of Ursula, but I think 1 Fieldwork is good enough for now, and we'll take a look at what else we get. I wouldn't have minded. Yeah, that's good. That's fine. What I was really looking for was maybe some boosts, like a magnifying glass, but these will do. And then for Leo, watch this. Glory. Beat Cop level 2, Stand Together, and Mauser. Very good opening hand, and I'm actually just going to keep this. Alright, so Madness, Pact, Cultist, or Detective weaknesses to each deck. Here's our basic weakness bag. Let's see what we get. Injury. Nope. Madness. This is going to Ursula. Investigation. Unspeakable Oath. Curiosity. Perfect. That's excellent to go to Ursula. Let's see what Leo gets. A Madness. Amnesia. Not as perfect, but fine. Alright, we start and play at Porte de l'Avancée. 3 Shroud, 2 Clue location. This ability that lets you place Doom on one agenda or the other and place 2 clues on it. We've got our 2 agendas up in the agenda area up here. The Tide Rises. You can spend 2 clues as a group to place a Doom on this, and each investigator gains 2 resources. Or you can spend 2 clues as a group to place 1 Doom on this, and each investigator draws 1 card. 5 each. So we'll start with Leo, because we've got to stand together, and we're going to play Stand Together. Actually, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 for Beat Cop. Then we're going to play a Stand Together for 1, 2, 1, 2. Then we're going to go ahead and 1, 2, 3, that Mauser into play. Final action, we'll go ahead and just play this Emergency Cash to get 1, 2, 3 resources. Right, for Ursula, we're going to first action, 1, 2, 3, play our good old buddy Jake Williams. And then second action, 1, 2, put a Fieldwork into play. Third action, we're going to take a move up to the Grand Rue, and we're going to trigger her ability to do an Investigate at this 1 Shroud location. With this forced ability, after you succeed at a skill test by 1 or less while investigating here, place 1 Doom on the agenda with the most Doom. Also reminds me, maybe I should take a look at this dual agendas rule. Whenever 1 or more Doom is placed on the current agenda, you decide which of the 2 it goes on to. Doom on cards other than the 2 agendas count towards the Doom threshold of both. When one agenda advances, Doom on the other is not removed. If the Doom threshold of both agendas are satisfied during the check Doom threshold, choose only 1 to advance. Then, once you've completed advancing that agenda, Check the doom threshold of the other agenda and advance if its doom threshold is still satisfied. Anyways, so Jake triggers, getting her a card draw, which is Lost Soul, which is going to trigger after... actually, no, I suppose this is before my Investigate's gone off. So we'll be doing that first. We're testing 3 against 4. Willpower against Intellect. Don't have a lot of great icons to toss into this, so we'll just take it as face value. Revealing another token, and if I fail, I place a Doom. -2. So we take 2 damage. I'll put 1 on... I guess I'll put both on Jake. No sense in not. Then we place a Doom on both agendas. Whoops. There we go. That's better. Let's even lock those so that we don't accidentally move them around every time we go to adjust these. So that's the Lost Soul. Then we trigger Fieldwork, and then we do the Investigate. We're investigating 6 against the location of 1. -1. Because -1. The highest amount of Doom on any agenda in play. We definitely succeed by enough that we don't have to worry about the forced ability there. Alright, that's Upkeep. Ursula gets her old Book of Lore. Don't mind that at all. Leo gets his Guts. Guts are always great to see. Alright, agenda time. Let's go ahead and put it on this first one, the Tide Rises. Let's shuffle the encounter deck, because we haven't done that yet this scenario. And an encounter card for Ursula. Test 3. If you fail, if 1A is in play, take a damage and lose an action. Well, I prefer not to fail that. I could put a Eureka in to try not to fail that. And I think I'll do that. It's 2 up. 2 up's not that bad. It's a reasonable amount of the bag. It's not crazy good, but it's fine. So let's see what we get. +1. Great. Top 3 cards of the deck. Add 1 to our hand. Archaic Glyphs, Witten, and a Magnifying Glass. Ooh, that's tricky. I think I want this Archaic Glyphs a lot with this Perception. Because I think that getting that density is going to be really valuable for me going forward. And Leo gets... Black Stars Rise. If you fail, you must either place a Doom on the current agenda or take a Horror for each point you failed by. Well, we're going to be failing that. Let's see how bad it is. Oh, buddy. -1. So, we have to either take 2 Horror or put... Well, we already have to put 2 Doom out, so we'll just go ahead and do that. We either have to put 1 Doom on one of these, or take 2 Horror. I think we're going to put a Doom on this guy right here. Okay, so for Ursula, what we're going to do is we're going to plop this 1/2 Archaic Glyphs into play, and then we're going to take a move action. We're going to head up to one of these walls. Let's go with this one. 4 Shroud. Well, the current agenda C has more Doom on it than A, double the number of skill icons and cards committed to skill tests at the outer wall. Well, we don't have that. So first we're going to reveal, after having revealed the location, draw the top card of the deck, which is a Magnifying Glass. Okay, and then we will investigate with Ursula after we've gotten our +2 from Fieldwork. During the free ability window of this Investigate, we'll pop the Magnifying Glass into play, and then we'll commit a Perception to it. So we'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 4 with an Archaic Glyphs Investigate. 0. Okay, so we draw 2 cards from the Perception, Lab Assistant, and the Man in the Paladin Mask. Farthest location from all Investigators spawns. Let's see where that is. It's going to be right here at the Abbey Church, which is an unfortunate spot for him to get pushed to. It's going to take us a little while to get to him. But we do get both the clues off the location. And last action, I'm just going to take a resource because I've got a lot of things to play. Alright, Mr. Bad Boy Leo, let's see what we can do with you. We're going to go ahead and take a card draw first. A 45, that's fine. We're going to move up to the 1 Shroud location. And then last action, we're just going to take another card draw for our Lost Soul. Okay, we're testing 4 against 3. Let's toss in a Guts and a Watch This to be 7 against 3. And we'll put $3 into it. 7 against 3. -3, succeed by 1, so I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resources back. I draw a card from Guts, which is my Bought in Blood, which gets rid of this Beat Cop. That was a super unfortunate set of circumstances, but at least we won't be seeing those again. Okay, upkeep on Ursula, an Unexpected Courage, And upkeep on Leo is his other glory. Let's get some enemies out. Let's go ahead and put the Doom on the Ritual Begins. And counter cards for Ursula. She gets the Crashing Floods. Agenda 1A is in place. Take a damage and lose an action. Well, that's where we're still at. I'm just going to take this. How much is this? 1 damage and 1 action? I think I can take that. It's -4, so I do fail, but I take 1 damage, and I'll take 1 action loss. Then over to Leo, he gets, Wizard of the Order, any empty location. Retaliate. Perfect. Let's pop him over here on the Broken Steps. Actually, I know the locations on Broken Steps can be really nasty. And let's put him up here so we have a bit more time to kill him without having to deal with the possibility of what that can be. So we're going to go ahead with Leo first. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to play that 45. We're going to walk up, engaging the Wizard of the Order, revealing this location. 2 clues and 2 shroud. After 1 more Doom is placed on the C agenda deck, each investigator at North Tower takes 1 horror, victory 1. And then last action, we're going to use the Mauser. We're just going to be 6 against 4, 2 up. We pull a -4, so we do fail that, unfortunately. Ursula's going to go ahead. First action, move up here to the North Tower. She'll use her reaction on her, and a field work, and a Archaic Glyphs charge to be investigating 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll go 8, 9 with this Unexpected Courage against 2. -4, so that's 5 against 2, so we succeed by 2. Well, we succeed by 3, but it's 2 for an extra clue. And then we'll go ahead and 1, 2, pop this Old Book of Lore into play, and we'll use a charge on it to look through Leo's deck, top 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And you can play one of those, reducing its cost, or just draw one of them. Well, we're all full on weapons right now. We don't really want to chuck both of those out of the play, so let's just draw him a Calling in Favors. That'll be useful for later. Wizard of the Order punches Leo in the face once for 1 damage. Also, this guy was supposed to have a Doom on him pretty much this whole time, right? We get upkeep for Ursula, a deduction, good to see. And then for Leo, a safeguard. Go ahead and put a Doom on this, which causes it to meet its threshold. And so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also 1 Doom comes off the Wizard of the Order because the threshold was met. And we advance the Tide Rises. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and both the set-aside copies of Tidal Terror into the encounter deck. Check the C agenda. If it has 3 or more Doom on it, mark 1 doubt in your campaign log. There's my 2 copies of Tidal Terror. And now we're up to Let the Storm Rage On. Each copy of Ancient Evils gains Surge. The investigators spend 1 clue as a group to place a Doom on this agenda. Each investigator gains 2 resources. Counter cards for Ursula. Ancient Evils. Doom on an agenda can cause it to advance, and it gains Surge. Go ahead and put 1 on the Let the Storm Rage. Surges into Black Stars Rise. If you fail, you must either place a Doom on your current agenda or take 1 horror for each point you failed by. Well, we're testing 4 against 4. I don't have a lot of great commits for this. I think I'm going to have Leo toss in a single glory. Would almost prefer to have this as a card draw, but I also don't want to have to take a bunch of horror, and I'm advancing this Doom real quick. So let's see what we get. -2. Perfect. So we passed that one. And Leo gets World's Merge. Testing 4 against 3, and if he fails, take a horror and discards a card from his hand. Well, that's a bummer. No commits. That's a -3, so we do fail. We have to take 1 horror, and we have to discard a card from our hand. It does not say at random, so let's just go ahead and get rid of that Calling in Favors. Let's go ahead with Ursula first. I want to get these clues so I can get off this location. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to investigate. Actually, you know what? We're going to use the Old Book of Lore first. We're going to look at the top of our deck this time. No, you know what? We're going to keep going with Leo. He's suffering pretty bad from that last little bit. So let's get a card in play for him. Here we go. Let's get a Beat Cop into play for him at -2 cost. We'll spend a charge off the old book. That's really handy. And then we'll do an investigate at our location. We'll be 5 with the magnifying glass. We'll use an Archaic Glyphs charge. Actually, how about this? Let's slow down. Let's slow down. We're going to play our Lab Assistant for 2 cards. Okay. Rather than using the charge here, we'll just commit the deduction to be 6 against 2. Yeah, I think that's fine. 6 against 2. -3, bam. both of those clues. Pop that into play. Unfortunately, I don't have a buck that I can go shortcut away. That's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. So we'll go ahead on Leo now. This guy should have a Doom on him, by the way. And let's clean up those cards in the old book. We're going to go ahead and kill this guy. So let's try the Mauser again. This time we are 7 against 3. First action. Auto fail. Great. And then we'll just take a couple... he is supposed to have a retaliate, so he should have hit me last round when I failed the attack. We'll try again with the 45. That's 6 against 4. 0. That kills him. So he is toast. And we will play a Glory from that. Did I shuffle those other ones? I don't remember. A Shotgun and Lonnie. Okay, that's fine. And then you know what we're going to do? We're just going to take another card draw. The Mauser. Okay. Get our upkeep on Ursula. Tattered Cloak. An upkeep on Leo. A Vicious Blow. Let's get a Doom here. We want to get this one out once we're off this location, I think. Get a Mythos card for Ursula. Spawn the Porte de l'Avancée, or the Chapel of Saint-Aubert. Oh, he's coming in at the Porte de l'Avancée, that's for sure. 4/4/2 Hunter. 1 damage, 2 horror. And then for Leo, we've got another Black Star's Rise. So we're testing 3 against 4. Probably going to be placing Doom from this one. Oh, fuck me. So 2 Doom. A Doom on each, and then another Doom from this, which can cause it to advance. So 1 and 1, and we have to take a horror from that because we're both standing there. So we'll do 1 on him, and 1 on him. And then another one gets placed. You know what? We're just going to put it on this and make it advance, I think, and clean that up. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and both set aside copies of Rift Seeker into the encounter deck. And then if Agenda 1A has 2 or fewer Doom on it, mark 1 Conviction. If Agenda 1A has 3 or more Doom on it, mark 1 Doubt. Interestingly, we are actually at even Doubt and Conviction. And then here's my Rift Seekers. The entity above, +1 fight on each monster, and 6 Doom threshold. And we advance that an extra time, right? So 1 on Lab Assistant, and then 1 directly onto Leo. Looking pretty dicey for Leo. Ooh boy, we are getting dunked on, aren't we? This is pretty bad. Okay, so Leo is going to get rid of her Obsessive, because we can't really afford that, I don't think. And then we're going to go 1/2 for his Safeguard. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then on Ursula, we're going to use the Old Book of Lore charge. Over here on Leo again, 1, 2, 3 cards. Let's get Mitch into play for 1 resource. Then we're going to go ahead and do our move out of this location. We're going to move with Ursula to the Broken Steps. After you enter the Broken Steps, you must discard an asset you control or draw the topmost cultist enemy in the counter deck discard pile. Well, there's no discard pile, we just shuffled. And so we're going to be discarding an asset, and we're just going to have Leo Safeguard along. We're going to lose the Magnifying Glass, which we're going to just immediately replace. And poor Leo, after he used a Safeguard, is going to turf the Safeguard, because I think Mitch and getting more allies out is going to be really essential in the next couple of turns. Finally, we're going to spend 6 clues, I believe that's 6, to move into the Abbey Church. So we'll be moving right there, revealing that. It is a 3 Shroud, 2 clue location. If there are 2 agendas in play with different agenda numbers, it gets +2 Shroud. Well, it doesn't have that. When it's revealed, put the set-aside Choir Gothique, Knight's Hall, Cloister, Chapel of Saint-Aubert, and Abbey Tower locations into play. Victory 1. So that puts us at the Abbey Church, with the map looking something like this. We're going to go ahead and use Fieldwork and Ursula Downs and a charge off of Archaic Glyphs. First, though, let's not forget Jake. We've just revealed that location, which gets a Eureka as well. So we're going to be 6, 7 with the Archaic Glyphs. Let's put in the Eureka as well to be 8 against 3. -1. Great. So we get both the clues. We get to use our Eureka for 1, 2, 3. Let's get that field work, I think. I feel like that field work is going to be doing us a lot of good for those parlay tests we need to get done. So let's take that. Whoops. The 2 clues. The Tidal Terror hunts up to the Grand Rue. And then we get Ursula Downs upkeep. Seeking answers. Did I remember to shuffle that? Nah, I didn't shuffle that. Try it again. Elder Sign Amulet. And for Leo, a guard dog. We got a Doom. Let's toss that onto Let the Storm Rage. I want to get rid of those Ancient Evil Surges. And a counter card for Ursula. Crashing Floods. Test 3. If you fail, 2 damage and lose 2 actions. Not what I want to see. Might commit this Tattered Cloak into this to be 5 against 3. I feel like that's fine. I don't think I'm playing this scenario. So let's try 5 against 3. -1. Well, didn't need it, but we did pass. And then for Leo, 4 against 3. So we don't have any icons for that. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to take that. 0. Great. Oh, a little bit of luck goes a long way now. All right, for Dear Ursula, we're going to go ahead and go 1-2 for a field work. And we're going to take a move action down to the Cloister. 2 Shroud, 2 Clues. Action if there are no clues on Cloister Parlay. All right, yes, there have to be no clues. Okay. So test 3 willpower. If you succeed, remember you have found a guide. Okay, so she's not going to be doing that. But she is going to go ahead and use Fieldwork and her basic Investigate to try 4, 5, 6, 7 against the Shroud value. That's successful, so we get a clue. And I'm going to go ahead and use an Old Book of Lore myself to draw a card from the top 3 of my deck and choose one. I don't want to get this last clue in case I have to use Ursula with the Fieldworks. So let's take a look what we got. We're going to go ahead and use the Seeking Answers, I think. The icons are very good. Actually, no, we can use the Deduction to clear the next location and then try... Yeah, okay. Never mind. I've got a better plan with the Deduction. Clearing a location with 1 fieldwork and a deduction, and then using the other fieldwork to try the parlay. Yeah, happy with that. Puts us on Leo. Let's take a move with him up to the Abbey Church. And then we're actually just going to take some money for a bit, I think. Because I want to get this Lonnie into play. I wouldn't mind getting the guard dog into play. Probably need to replace a gun eventually. A lot of stuff needs to go on. And next turn, I can play her for 2 and her for 1. Or the guard dog for 2 and Lonnie for 3 with an Ever Vigilant. It's pretty good. Really shoring up this bullshit going on with my health. Okay, Tidal Terror is going to hunt one more time. And then we're going to get our upkeeps. Get a Calling in Favors on Ursula. And Amnesia on Leo. Choose to discard all but 1 card from your hand. Brutal. Well, let's keep Lonnie. 5 out of 6 on Let the Storm Rage. Counter cards for Ursula. Worlds Merge. I'm testing 3 against 3 here. So in a 2 season play, take 2 horror, discard 2 cards from your hand. Well, I'd love not to fail this, but I don't have a lot of options. And I think I'd rather discard the Elder Sign Amulet and a shortcut, or a Calling in Favors, than need to only have my deduction left. So we'll take that 3 against 3. -1, yeah. So we do fail. 2 horror, 2 cards from hand. Well, 1 will go on the lab assist. Actually, no, we'll just take the 2 horror to the face. 2 cards from hand. Let's get rid of the shortcut. Ah, God, that's painful. Yeah, let's get rid of the Elder Sign Amulet. Calling in Favors to go find my Witten or something with this lab assistant, or Jake. Seems pretty good. And then Leo gets Spires of Carcosa. Attached to location, then place 2 Doom on that location. That sucks. No, actually, that's fine, isn't it? Because we're going to advance next round anyways, and then this will go away. So that's fine. That's fine. That's perfectly fine, and it's great. That's fine. Okay, so we may as well go with Leo. We're going to use his thing here to go 1, 2, 3 for Lonnie. And that kind of, let's rearrange this to make it clearer. These are his Mitch Brown slots. And then on his turn, we're going to move down once to the Cloister to see if he can get this parlay done later. Then we're going to take a draw action for another Lonnie, another draw action for a shotgun. Ursula's going to do what she said she was going to do, which is move. That shoves her over to the Knight's Hall, which is connected this way. She's in a 2 Shroud location, 2 clues. And this has, if there are no clues on Knight's Hall, investigate using your agility instead of intellect. If you succeed, remember that you have discovered the tower key. So she's going to trigger 1 field work, commit a deduction to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 2. Okay, I don't need that move, but that's fine. Gets us those 2 clues. And then we'll trigger our other field work, and we will investigate using our agility 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 against 2, -4. Now we remember that we have found the tower key. We have 1 action remaining. Let's go ahead and use the Old Book of Lore on ourselves and get 1 card out of our deck. Let's take that Elder Sign Amulets, because I think that's the best icons, and right now we just kind of need icons to not be face-planting tests. Did forget Jake there. Would you begrudge me for taking the draw now? Yeah. Okay. The Tidal Terror moves into the Abbey Church. Get our upkeeps. Did I shuffle that? Yeah, I did shuffle that. Get a Doom up here on Let the Storm Rage. Boom. Something is wrong. The flood must have triggered the gate by now. Research this ritual to the best of your abilities, but for some reason it isn't working. Spawn the set-aside Beast of Aldebaran enemy in the Abbey Tower. Check the campaign log. Blah, blah, blah. Remove the set-aside Act 3A card from the game. Advance to Agenda 3A. Your objective lies within the other agenda deck. Great. Alright, so we've got this 8 Doom agenda now. We have this Beast of Aldebaran at the Abbey Tower. Tidal Terror is chilling over there. This also was gotten removed from play when that agenda advanced. Right, encounters for Ursula. Ancient Evils. Doom and a Surge. Put 1 there and we'll Surge. Another Tidal Terror. Let's toss him at the Porte de la Valsée. And then for Norman, we get another Spires of Carcosa. Yuck. Right there. But I think that's okay. Ursula might want to come over and get rid of those. Okay, so considering our options, we have the tower key. I don't need to get the guide to get down here anymore. I know that it's victory, so I might want to do that. But I think this turn I'm going to be focused on Leo killing this guy and opening up the way for us to get up. But to that end, I do want to get rid of this Doom so it's not on that, like, just lingering in play forever. And so I'd like Ursula to take a move over here. We're going to go ahead and trigger a field work. She's going to be investigating 4, 5, 6, 7. She's going to be investigating 7 against a normal investigate there, I think is what I'm going to do first. So 7 against 2. Skull, is that currently 0, I believe, or 1? Yes, just 1. So that picks up the clue off the cloister. And then she's going to use her other field work, to investigate against the Spires of Carcosa. So she's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7 against 2. Boom, that's 1 Doom off of it. And then she'll just do... actually, you know what? She's not going to do another investigate. She's going to use her Old Book of Lore on Leo to see if he can get the Vicious Blow or something. Try and get a little bit more out of his deck for him. Not a whole lot going on. The Overpower's pretty nice. I'll take that Overpower. That's some good card draw. Okay, so that's Ursula's turn. Leo's going to take 1 move up into the Abbey Church, and the Tidal Terror is going to engage him. He's going to take a shot with the Mauser, with an Overpower committed. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against 4. -3. So that is successful, and I get 2 card draws off of the Overpower. That's 2 damage. And then we'll just take 1 more shot. I think that got me a resource and also readied. We'll take another shot with the Mauser. 8 against 4. And we'll commit to watch this. And we'll spend 1, 2, 3 resources off that. So we'll go 9 against 4. -2. Cool. So that gets me a resource, and then this gets me 6 resources. And then he's toast. Bye-bye. Sky Hunts up to here. And then we get a couple more upkeeps going on. Burning the Midnight Oil for Ursula. And Overpower again for Leo. Let's get another Doom on this entity above. And then we will get an encounter card for Ursula. Swift buy a key. Not too bad. Kind of annoying, but not too bad. And then for Leo, a Spawn of Hali. Pray most horror, retaliate. Yeah, well, that's just right on them. So we're going to go ahead on Ursula first. She's going to try to evade the Swift by a key. She's 4 against 2. -4. Try it again. 4 against 2. -1. Excuse me, -2. So he is evaded. And then last action, we're going to move up the Abbey Church. There's no clues on the location, and it is currently 5 shrouds. We're not really, don't have a great chance at defeating the man in the pallid mask there. But we can just toss a Burn to Midnight Oil in for an investigate. And I think I'm okay with that. 2 resources to replace this Lab Assistant, play over my Elder Signs, maybe Witten if I get the Lab Assistant out of the way. Doesn't hurt. Failed. Okay, Mr. Anderson. I was forgetting about the +1 to my monster fight values on my last test, so when I edit this, I'll have to double check and see if any of those were failed, or maybe if I missed that watch this money. I don't think I did, but there's a chance. But anyways, we're going to shoot this guy with the Mauser. We're not going to put the overpower into this one because we don't need to succeed by 4, we only need to succeed by 2. So we are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 5. 8 against 5. Let's commit Lonnie Ritter to this to be 9 against 5. -2. Okay, so we do get a buck, and that deals 2 damage. And then we're going to use our overpower with a 45 shot. That's going to be 7, 10 against 5. -1. That's 2 cards with the overpower. Psychosis goes into play. A vicious blow, but he's dead. And then last action, we're just going to go ahead and play over those with the shotgun. Next turn, we'll be able to get that extra ammunition. Actually, you know what we're even going to do? We're going to use the Ever Vigilant to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 on that, and then we're also going to play the Guard Dog for 1, 2, and that's good enough. Okay, so the Tidal Terror hunts up to here. We're going to do upkeep on Ursula, or Unspeakable Oath, which is hidden, but she needs to investigate a location with no clues on it to get rid of it. And then Leo gets his Galvanize. Perfect. Galvanize is exactly what I want to see with a Beat Cop, shotgun, extra ammunition to toss onto it. Great. Okay, so we're going to put a Doom up here. And you know what we're actually going to do? Before the round is over, now that I'm thinking about it, and I think I probably should have done this last time, but I think there were some skill tests that I thought about it, and maybe I shouldn't. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 clues off Ursula to place a Doom before the round advances, during, I guess maybe after the guy hunts, so we each draw a card. So we'll also have a Seeking Answers and a Safeguard in hand. And then we'll place a Doom during the Mythos phase, get rid of those 2 clues, and encounter cards for Ursula. Rift Seeker. After he attacks you, you must either take an additional damage and an additional horror, or place a Doom on each agenda. You can place a Doom on each agenda in play and take 2 horror to discard him. Well, that's tempting. It's tempting. But Leo gets an Acolyte, an empty location, and place a Doom on him. So, we're going to shove him over to the Guargothic, because we're just going to go over and kill him this turn, I think. So we're going to go ahead with Leo first. He is going to do exactly what I said. He's going to first action, pay 2 for an extra ammunition, placing 1, 2, 3 ammo on his shotgun. Then he's going to walk over to that cultist, like so. 3 shroud, 2 clues, engaged. And he's just going to punch him. With Lonnie and Beat Cop, we are 6 against 3. There's a chance of missing, but we can just use the Beat Cop afterwards if we do. Hey, sweet. Top 3 cards for an ally. But he is toast, so that's good. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead, place a Doom on each agenda in play, and take 2 horrors. So we're going to kill off the Lab Assistant and kill off Jake Williams, because he's not been doing a whole lot for us, I don't think. And then put a Doom on each agenda in play. This will advance next phase. But what I can do is spend my 2 clues now to place another Doom on it if I wanted to. So that's action 1. let's go ahead and do what I said. We're going to spend 2 clues to place a doom on this, which can cause it to advance. Path to Carcosa. Remove the remainder of this agenda deck from the game and replace it with the set-aside act card. So boom, boom. Open the path above. If each undefeated investigator is at the Abbey Tower and there are no clues on that location, advance. Right. There are no 2 agendas in play with different agenda numbers anymore. There's only 1 agenda in play. So I might be able to get rid of this unspeakable oath here right now. I'm going to try and do that with this seeking answers. For 1, I'm investigating my current location at 5 against 3. Let's commit the cryptic writings to it to be 7 against 3. Minus, 1, I guess, on the current agenda. So we definitely succeed. Discover 2 clues from the connecting location. We do successfully investigate here, getting rid of the unspeakable oath. And we just pick up the 2 off the Choir Gothique. Not super important, but didn't hurt, right? And then we'll move over with Leo. Stay 1 step ahead of this Tidal Terror, who is going to hunt, by the way. Also, this guy would have been ready, and now he's going to be hunting once, and then instead move it 1 at a time until it enters its prey's location, lowest remaining sanity. If it moved more than 1 location by this effect, it does not attack. But we do have to move him to engage one of us. Let's see who has less remaining sanity. Ursula's got 4 remaining, and Leo's got 3 remaining. So he pops onto him. 1 doom on the agenda. Oops, almost forgot upkeep. Let's take that first. And then upkeep over here as well. 45. And then Mythos. Get hunted by a key. Test 6. If you fail, reveal the top X cards of the encounter deck, where X is the amount of you failed by. If at least 1 by a key enemy is revealed by this effect, choose and draw 1 of them. If at least 1 omen treachery is revealed by this effect, take 1 horror. Shuffle the encounter deck. So we're testing 4 against 6. I don't have any ways to boost this right now. Oh, auto fail. Top 6 for Baya Keys and Omens. Let's see what we get. Definitely got an Omen. And we got a Baya Key. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. So we take a horror, and we get this Rift Seeker on us. And then Leo gets Crashing Floods. Oh, losing actions is not what I need right now. And there's no way he can pass that. That is brutal. Kind of wish I'd committed, but 3 damage and losing all of his actions is real bad. 2, 3, no actions. Psychosis is for horror, so not to be worried about yet. Okay, unfortunately, I think we have to do this again, don't we? I don't see any way around it, and we are going to be real fucked if something bad comes up. So let's go ahead and take our 2 horror and discard this guy and place a doom on the agenda. First action. And then we're going to go ahead and play that Elder Sign Amulet, giving us 4 soak. And we're going to use an old book of lore on Leo to try and get some different answers out of his deck, I think. Oh, he doesn't have a deck. What am I talking about? Guess we're using it on ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and keep that perception. It'll be useful. Maybe we can get this Archaic Glyphs into play, perception, grab all the clues off the last location, and get the hell out of there. Unfortunately, Leo doesn't get a turn. We'll hunt with the Tidal Terror. He'll come in. He's going to pop down onto Leo. He's going to attack first, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3. And because of the horror is taken, we have to take a direct damage. And the guard dog is going to retaliate once. And then a Swift Baya Key is going to attack for, let's see, 1, 2, and a direct damage. And he's going to retaliate again. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and use the Beat Cop to deal a damage to him as well. Hopefully we can punch him next turn instead of wasting ammo on him. Get an upkeep for Ursula. Another Burning the Midnight Oil. I swear I shuffled that. And then Leo Anderson is going to get a mulligan, a reshuffle, excuse me, which deals him a horror, which I can't really put on anyone right now. And also deals me a direct damage. Getting really dicey here. 4 out of 8 Doom for Ursula. Ancient Evils. 5 out of 8. And another encounter card. Crashing Floods. We're going to have to commit this into that because we really cannot afford to lose 3 actions on her either, I don't think. Oh, bud. There we go. And then for Leo, we get marked by the sign. If you fail, take 2 horror. It's direct, +2 difficulty. Yikes. Well, I think we got to toss everything into this, because I cannot take that horror. We are testing 7 against 4. 0. Okay. Would have loved to have kept that galvanized, but I mean, I can't die, right? I can't die with this many enemies. That would just be an instant loss. Let's go ahead with Ursula first. She is going to take that Psychosis off of Leo. And then she's going to play another Archaic Glyphs, so that next turn when she walks in, she can just clear the location out. Now for Leo, we're going to go ahead and use a Shotgun Blast against this Tidal Terror. We're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 against 4. 9 against 4. -2. So 7 against 4 is 3 damage. He's toast. Let's take a punch against this guy. 6 against 2. He's toast. Whew. Okay. And then last action. I almost want to call like it favors someone, but I don't know who. I want it to be Lonnie, I think. Yeah. Let's calling in favors on Lonnie. Return her to her hand. Whoops. And then we would look at the top 9 cards of the deck and see what we get. Begrudgingly, a whiff. A big old whiff. It's not the worst thing in the world. We can replay her, so it does kind of heal her. Okay, upkeep for Ursula, Witten. And upkeep for Leo, Glory. 6 out of 8 Doom. Let's see what we get with Ursula. Ancient Evils. Oh god, that surges. World's Merge. Test 3. 3 horror, discard 3 cards from hand. That's real bad. But it is what it is. No commits from Leo. 0. Oh, thank God. And then Leo. An Acolyte. Place a Doom on it. Any empty location. Well, doesn't matter. It's the last turn. May as well toss him right here. So one thing that's really, really unfortunate about how the way this turn has to go is that this says the door leading up to the Abbey Tower is locked. You cannot enter the Abbey Tower unless you have found the tower key. And unfortunately, Ursula's the one who found it. So she has to go first to open the way. And that means she's going to be eating a bunch of Beast of Aldebaran attacks of opportunity while she's trying to get all these clues. So she's going to walk up. She's going to reveal a location. 3 Shroud, 4 clues. And he's engaged with her right now. We're going to do the Investigate, which causes an attack of opportunity. 1, 2, and a horror. We're going to trigger both of the Fieldworks and commit all of our cards because we cannot gather any clues while we have cards in hand. And we're using an Archaic Glyphs. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we just need to not draw an auto-fail. It's a -7. So, just to say it again, I was at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. -7 is 7 against 3. That succeeds by 2. That succeeds by 4, so I get 3 of the clues. And then I just have to eat a bunch more attacks of opportunity as I try to get the last clue off the location. So we investigate again with an Archaic Glyphs. This time 1, 2, 5 against 3. 0. Thank God. And then she just forfeits her last action. Leo is going to pop Lonnie into play for 3 resources and move up. I'm just going to bring this into his threat area so that it's a bit easier to check out the attacks on him. So we're going to try to blast him away. And I'm pretty sure massive enemies don't do the fail thing, so we'll just be doing an attack with shotgun. Let's just toss everything into it, we may as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 against 3. Good as anything, I suppose. 0. So we deal 5, 6, 7. Kills him in 1 shot. Glad to see this guy entering the Hex Zone. And then let's get the fuck out of here. Feature undefeated investigators at the Abbey Tower, and there are no clues in that location. Advance. Oh my god, R2. Only you can stop Haster from escaping his prison. Holy shit, fuck this scenario. I opened the path above, and we have Elder Thing tokens in the Chaos Bag. Sorry, non-tablet. We have no tablets. We have cultists and Elder Things. And we get... How much victory do we get? Let's check. We clearly get one from this jackass. And then we get a whole bunch of... one more, two more, three more. So 4 VP total. A little rough. There's a lot of work for 4 VP. Would have been nice to come up here and get this too, but that's okay. So 4 VP it is, going into the final scenario. That was tough. That was probably the tightest game of Black Stars Rise I've ever had, getting down to that final. And I was really worried about Ursula drawing that other one that does the 2 direct horror if you fail the willpower. Oh god, if that had happened, I would have just instantly lost. Anyways, appreciate you watching. I'll see you in Dim Carcosa.